Hello students, this is Smriti Singh. Welcome to your own channel LLS with SS. Today I am going to teach you about female gametogenesis, that is known as oogenesis. So keep watching. If you are liking my videos, then please like it and never forget to subscribe my channel to get more videos. Now let's start. Female gametogenesis, oogenesis. Female gametogenesis. Gameto means gamete, genesis means formation. So the formation of gamete, this is known as gametogenesis. Today I am talking about the female gametogenesis. Means the female gamete is ovum. Okay, female gamete is known as ovum. That's why the ovum formation is known as oogenesis. Oo means egg, means ovum, and genesis means formation. So the egg formation is known as oogenesis. So in female gametogenesis, in female gamete formation, it is known as oogenesis, means egg formation or ovum formation. So today I am going to teach you about the oogenesis, how ovum formed in female. So you have to learn about it. So watch the figure. You will see the figure will tell you the explanation of the oogenesis. Okay, so this is the picture you see. This is the picture of ovary. Okay, this is the picture of ovary, or it is TS of ovary actually. TS means transverse section. It is transverse section of the ovary. So I told you about that. The ovum is produced in the ovary. Ovary is the main sex organ in female where gametogenesis occurs. Okay, so ovary is the main organ where gametogenesis occurs, where gamete formation will occur, means ovum will form. So this structure is need to clear it. So the gametogenesis process occurs in the stroma of the ovary. So you need to see the LS or TS of the ovary. So this diagram is TS of the ovary. TS means transverse section of the ovary. Whenever you will cut it transversely, you will see inside like this. Okay, you will see inside of the ovary like this structure. So let me tell you what is about this structure, what is this picture showing you. Actually these cells, these all cells are many in this ovary, but for the formation of ovum, this picture showing you only single maturation. Okay, only single process from here to here. This is the cycle, you are showing this cycle of the one follicles, one cells, but there are many cells inside it. So let's see what is it. This one, you start from here, this from here. This is the attachment. This part is attached to the pelvic wall. In previous video I told you about the ovary. So this ovary is attached with the pelvic wall, and this attachment part is known as mesoovarium. Okay, this part is known as mesoovarium, where you will cut this ovary in the TS formation. Then you will see inside like this structure. This is known as blood vessels. It is blood vessels. There are many blood vessels inside the ovary, and all the gaps you just see, these all gaps of the ovary is known as stroma. Okay, this is known as stroma, and many follicles are there, but here it is not made for the many follicles. For the more clarity of the formation of ovum, there is only some follicles are made here for the clarity, but there is the many cells present in stroma. So let's start where ovum occurs and how ovum occurs. Okay, first of all you will see these cells. Okay, let me show you these cells. These cells are known as germinal epithelial cell. Okay, this is attached with the wall of the ovary. This cell is known as germinal epithelial. This cell will make a tube-like structure or oval structure that will form for few minutes later. It will becomes more distinct and make more the cells. This germinal epithelial cell will form the more cells, and then it will develop and makes that cell will covered with the many cells. This cell is known as primary oocyte. Okay, these cells covered with the many cells, this structure is known as oocyte or primary oocyte. This cell, after few minutes or after few time, it will become it will become double layered. Okay, this cell is covered with the some cells, and over it a more cells group make a oval part. This is known as secondary oocyte. Okay, this germinal epithelial forms primary oocyte, then it converted in a structure that is known as secondary oocyte. After that, it will form like this structure. This cell is in one side, and the other cells that is covered this small cells converted many cells and make a big cells. This is known as follicle. Okay, this is follicle. This cell is follicle, and inside it this is the big cell that will become ovum, and this ovum is surrounded by this cell. This ovum is surrounded by the cell. So this structure is changing. You just see from here to here to here, it is changing their structure. It is made like this. This is premature follicle. It is known as premature follicle. It is not completely matured. It is prematured, and it have a particular gap here. This is known as antrum. This gap is known as antrum, and after a few days it will converted like this structure. Okay, like this cell, this attached cell is separating from these follicles. This attached cell is separating from these cells and makes like this structure. This is the structure made. Is it is mature cell. Okay, this is immature, this cell is mature cell, and this mature cell have also a particular gap that is known as antrum. This cell is known as Graafian follicle. Okay, this mature follicle is known as Graafian follicle because this mature follicle is discovered, means it is searched by a scientist. The scientist name was Graafian. Okay, that's why it is known as Graafian follicle. It is mature follicle. It is also known as Graafian follicle, and this cell is ovum. Okay, now this ovum is matured. This ovum is formed. This ovum need to release from the ovary. Now this ovum needs to release out from the ovary. After some days, this follicle structure will release this ovum outside the ovary. Okay, just see after it. You see this follicle will release. This follicle is releasing the ovum. This ovum is released outside. This is the ovum that is released outside. Ovum were there, and this ovum is now released outside the ovary. Okay, this process releasing of the ovary, this releasing of the ovum by the ovary, this process is known as ovulation. Okay, this process is known as ovulation. Whenever the ovum is released outside the ovary, this process is known as ovulation. Okay, so ovum is released, but follicles, these follicles never released ever. Okay, never released out. Only follicles, only ovum is released, follicles keep inside the ovary. then what will happen with this follicle? So these follicles will convert the another structure. This structure is known as young corpus luteum. Okay, this is known as young corpus luteum. After some time, this corpus luteum will convert completely a fully matured corpus luteum. This is corpus luteum. It is just yellowish in color because of the particular type of female hormone are there. This consists a particular type of hormone that is known as progesterone hormone. Okay, this follicle consists a particular type of hormone that is known as progesterone hormone, and that due to the presence of the progesterone hormone, due to the releasing of the progesterone hormone, this follicles looks as yellowish in color. This corpus luteum is just yellowish in color. And what happens with the ovum? The follicles is converted in corpus luteum, but what happens with the ovum? This ovum, released ovum, just enters in the fallopian tube. In a female reproductive system videos, you just see the fallopian tube is attached just nearby the ovary. The fallopian tube consists of finger like projection that is known as fimbriae, just near the ovary. That structure is known as fimbriae. That fimbriae catch this ovum to carry this ovum to the fallopian tube. Okay, so this will enter to the fallopian tube, and in fallopian tube, if there is sperm, then it will fertilize. If there is no sperm, then this one will be transferred to the uterus, and after that some structure will change. Okay, so before that I will teach you about the corpus luteum. So what happens with the corpus luteum? Actually, what will happen with this ovum inside the fallopian tube, I will teach you in next video. Now I am teaching you only the gametogenesis, so focus on the gametogenesis in this lesson only. What will happen this ovum inside the fallopian tube, I will teach you in next video. So let's see, from here, from germinal epithelium to the releasing ovum and to the formation of the corpus luteum, how much time it takes? Okay, this one, from the germinal epithelium, the process of the formation of ovum from germinal epithelium to the releasing, it will take 14 days. Okay, it just take uh, at 14 days, and after 14 days it will released out. Okay, and next more 14 days, more plus 14 days, it will just stay in the ovum, is just transfer in the fallopian tube, and after 14 days, okay, this from here to here it is 14 days, and more plus 14 days, this corpus luteum will stay inside the ovary with progesterone, releasing the hormone of progesterone, and after 14 days it will degenerate, it will destroyed, and it will convert in corpus albicans. This is known as corpus albicans. It will destroy to form a structure that is known as corpus albicans. But this will destroy after 14 days just in case of unfertilization. Okay, means if the fertilization will never occur, means this ovum that enters in the fallopian tube where fertilization occur. Okay, but if fertilization never occur, then it will degenerate, it will destroyed. If this ovum will fertilized, if it will fertilize with the sperm, then this corpus luteum that is releasing a particular type of hormone that is progesterone, it will stay till the 9 month. Okay, I'm talking about the human. So this fertilized ovum will be converted into adult baby. So this adult baby will be formed to the 9 months. So this 9 month corpus luteum will stay here till the 9 month. If the fertilization never occur in fallopian tube, then this will be degenerate after 14 days. So it means that from germinal epithelial to the releasing ovum, it is 14 days, and the next 14 days means completely 28 days. Okay, from here 14 days, and from here to here 14 days. In never, if there is fertilization never occur, then 28 days will takes, and again after 28 days this same process will happen, this same process will happen, and this process repeating again to every 28 days. Okay, again every 28 days. This is known as the formation of oogenesis. Okay, so if it is released, there is the some hormonal control. I will teach you in next video about the hormonal control. Here I am talking about the gametogenesis only, how ovum is formed, so I am talking the only oogenesis here. Okay, so hormonal control I will teach you, but here I am telling about something. From germinal epithelium to the releasing of the ovum, from here to here before 14 days, means just in 14 days it is controlled by a particular type of hormone. That hormone is estrogen hormone, and after releasing ovum, this is controlled by the progesterone hormone. That progesterone hormone released by the corpus luteum. Okay, in if there is fertilization never occur, okay, then it will repeat in every 28 days. If the fertilization occur, then this will never occur in 28 days. The gametogenesis, the oogenesis never happens in every 28 days. It will happen after 9 months, when birth completed, when parturition completed, then this will happen again. Okay, so how this germinal epithelium form the ovum? So just see here in this diagram. In male gametogenesis, I will in male gametogenesis I taught you about this structure. In male gametogenesis, I talked about this picture in that lesson. So this structure is same in oogenesis also, but quite difference in it. So what is difference in oogenesis of male gametogenesis and oogenesis? Let me tell you here. This is the main basic structure. This is the main basic things of the formation of oogenesis or spermatogenesis. So this structure need to learn how it forms. In male gametogenesis, I taught you about that the any kind of gamete formation is based on the meiosis type of cell division. Okay, meiosis type of cell division, and meiosis cell division will be reduction of the cell. Okay, reduction of the cell means the number of chromosome will be half. Okay, if there is 46 number of chromosome in a cell, then it will be converted in 23 number of chromosome in a cell. So this is known as reduction cell division also, and this meiosis cell division always occurs in two steps: the first meiotic division and the second meiotic division. Okay, so oogenesis is also a formation of gamete, so it need to decrease and make the half number of chromosome, so it also need meiosis type of cell division. Okay, so how oogenesis occurs from the germinal epithelium? Just you look in this picture. I will teach you in details. Here it is, you just see here, you, yes, just see, it is big. Now you can see easily. Just see here, it is a structure. Diploid structure means complete number of cells, complete number of chromosome is here, so it is known as primordial cell. Okay, in male gametogenesis it is a primordial cell, and here oogenesis also known as primordial cell, and it is the germinal epithelial cell. Okay, First of all, it need to be in multiplication phase. First of all, this cell need to multiply. Okay, so in multiplication phase, this cell will form many cells. So one cell will form two cell, and then this two cell again will form two cells, then it will form the fourth cell. But all cells are same, the just it multiplies. Here it is mitosis type of cell division occurs. Here it is mitosis type of cell division occurs, means the cell is forming identical type of cell. Okay, here it is not reduct, means here it is not making half a number of chromosome. Here is the same number of chromosome. So first step from germinal epithelial, the formation of the four cell, first it is first it is multiplication phase. Okay, first it is multiplied. So whenever this primordial cell, this germinal epithelial cell will convert or form four cell, this four cell is known as oogonium. Okay, it is known as oogonium because O means egg, so this is primary egg, that's why it is known as oogonium. This oogonium will develop because now it is formed, so it is daughter cell, it is known as daughter cell. It is premature, it is immature. So this cell is need to grow, okay, and it will become mature. So it enters in growth phase. After multiplication phase, it will enter in growth phase, and this stage, in this stage, this will grow completely to form another type of cell. It will make a half number of chromosome. So this completely grown cell is known as primary oocyte. Primary oocyte. This primary oocyte will now divides by the process of meiosis, meiotic division. Then it will form two half number of chromosome cells. Okay, here it is written n number, means half number, it is haploid cells. Whenever this cell will divide to form two cells, just you see one cell is smaller than another. This one is the big cell and this one is the small cell. So in case of oogenesis, it this cell will divide two cells, two haploid cell, but both are not identical to each other. It is both cells are different to each other. Okay, the small one is known as primary polar body. Okay, it is primary polar body, and this primary polar body consists less amount of cytoplasm or less amount of some organelles. This is not good for the division, and this is very premature type, so this is known as primary polar body. But this cell is normal cell, it is it is good for the division. So this primary oocyte divides in two unequal cell, and after first meiotic division, this both cell will divide to form two cells. But this cell, this which is consist less amount of cytoplasm, less amount of nutrient, this will also divide, but this cell forms two more polar body. It is not good cell, it is very less amount of things. It will never be form a ovum. Okay, it will never convert in ovum. And about this second cell, this second cell is known as secondary oocyte. Okay, this normal cell is known as secondary oocyte. This secondary oocyte will also form two cells, but here again this one cell will be polar body. It is also less amount of it also consists less amount of cytoplasm and less amount of nutrient, so it is polar body, and one cell is only one cell is normal. Okay, So from here you see primary oocyte forms two unequal cell, and this is known as primary polar body, and this primary polar body forms two more polar body, and the normal secondary oocyte forms two unequal cell. This all four cells are haploid, or all four cells is haploid, and it is formed, but only one cell is normal, and all three cell consist less amount of cytoplasm. So this cell never will become ovum. Okay, this will never convert ovum, it will never convert the female gamete. So these all three cell is known as secondary polar body. Okay, it is known as secondary polar body, and only one cell will form ovum. So this cell is known as oocyte. Okay, you can also say ovum, but this is the clearly it is known as oocyte. After some changes, then it will convert in a ovum. So it is known as oocyte, not ovum. You can say ovum, but it will convert a structure that is known as ovum, a mature ovum. I will teach you in next video about the mature ovum. This structure is oocyte. So in male gametogenesis, I told you about that the primary primary spermatocyte will form two equal cell, that is formed two equal cell, and all four cells formed sperms. Okay, I think you remember that lesson. These all four cells is converted in a sperm, but in case of oogenesis, only one cell will form ovum. Okay, so in sometimes the question is asked that why spermatogenesis, why sperm is four times more than ovum. Okay, means why female gamete is four times more than ovum, because of this reason. Okay, because of this reason the four cell is formed, but only one cell will convert in ovum. Okay, but in case of male gametogenesis, the all four cells converts in sperm. So sperm is four times more than ovum. Okay, four times more than ovum. This is the basic knowledge of the gametogenesis, oogenesis. This is the basic base of the formation of oogenesis. This process occurs here. Already I taught you. This is the primordial cell, means germinal epithelial cell. Then it convert in primary oocyte, then it's secondary oocyte, then mature follicles, Graafian follicles, then the ovum completely will form, then ovum will released out. Okay, and the follicles left inside the ovary, the follicles inside the ovary converts in corpus luteum. It is just yellowish in color. This looks like yellowish because of the releasing of a particular hormone, that is progesterone hormone. And from here to here, from germinal epithelial to the formation or releasing of the ovum, from here to here it is controlled by the estrogen hormone. But I will teach you about the hormonal control of the female reproductive system in a next video. So from here to here it takes 14 days. After 14 days, more 14 days will be here in corpus luteum. In case of if in case of unfertilization, means when fertilization never occurs, if fertilization occurs, then it will stay here till the 9 months. And what will happen about this ovum in the fallopian tube, I will teach you in next video. This is about the oogenesis only. So I think this oogenesis is completed. What is the process of oogenesis, how ovum is formed? So I think it is cleared. If you understand, then like my video and subscribe my channel to get more videos. Thanks for watching.